Welcome to The Good Ride. I'm James Beastie, and I try to suck less through better gear. Today, I'm talking about the Burton High Fidelity, new for 2025. I got on this with Union Force and Union Atlas bindings, along with Ride deadbolt boots. I was lucky to get this in a wide variety of conditions. Everything from a little dusting on top of some pretty hard, but sometimes edgeable snow. Then I got 3 to 5 inches on top of some hard snow. Then I got some proper knee-high powder the following day. In terms of sizing, this 158 felt a little small for me. I think I'd like to go up to the 162. I'm not sure about that. I'd have to know after I go. I felt a little heavy for it, but not too heavy to the point where I couldn't get to know this board. It's very narrow though, and I felt like I was at this board's limits with size 9 boots. Sometimes I felt like I could get close to toe and heel drag if I really railed a hard turn in steeper conditions or softer snow. Some things that'll make you want to swipe right. This is light and poppy. It's got pretty good directional float for its width. It's a fun board to turn and carve. Some things that'll make you want to swipe left. The edge hold isn't as good as some of its peers. It's pretty narrow, so you need a smaller boot size to fit this well. When it comes to shape, this is pretty directional and pretty tapered. There's a huge difference between the nose and this pintail. You definitely feel it on snow. It's not super set back on board, but it does feel more directional than its stance location would lead you to believe. When it comes to the camber profile, this is directional camber. You've got a lot of camber underfoot going pretty much to the tail. Then you have a decent amount of early rise before this longer nose. This feels pretty technical, more for advanced expert riders. And like I usually say, if you're a strong intermediate and you're willing to catch an edge, take some lumps, maybe go to the hospital a few times to get better, this could work. Despite being narrow, it feels stable underfoot. It tracks really well one-footing and flat basing. In terms of edge hold, I felt the grip was okay. I could get this edge into that hard day, but when I got off this and took a run on the Yes All Out with a pretty disrupted side cut, I felt it gripping a lot better. If that snow got any harder, I don't think I'd want to be on this board. So let's talk high fidelity flex here. You can see it's pretty stiff, especially between the feet. Down in the tail, it's soft right in this area here, but as you get towards the effective part of the tail that you might engage on a butter, it's pretty stiff. Then you look at the nose and it's considerably softer, even up into this range here. I found that it was pretty easy to butter on the nose, a little more work in the tail, and this felt like it's the stiffest of all the boards I tried this time around. I'd say the Hometown Hero might be closer if I got one that wasn't as used. What I just love about all Burton boards is this just dynamic energy and pop. Even average riders like myself can easily access this and get it to spring. Love that about Burton. So when you take this dynamic poppy flex and you put it in uneven snow, it bucked and bounced me around a little bit. Again, I felt a touch heavy for this board, so if you're a lighter rider, I think it could work. It wasn't unbearable. It didn't have that ultralight feel, but it definitely leans a little bit more on the bucky, chattery side of middle ground. When it comes to base glide, I thought this was pretty good, especially for being dry. I think with a good wax, this will have a nice glide to it. When I did get on the Family Tree Hometown Hero 2024 with that blue base, that one seemed to have a little more glide. Those did a better job, and they're both called centered WFO. I don't know why that one did so much better than this one. They were both dry, but it did. Maybe this is a newer kind of WFO. When it comes to going straight, getting speed, pointing it, I think if you're sized correctly for this, it'll jam down the hill. And when it comes to turning, I thought this initiated a turn almost faster than I wanted to. If you're somebody who's looking to make really tight tree turns, or you ride through bumps a lot, this does really well there. And when I got it on edge, it carved pretty well. I liked the way this carved a little better than the Alakazam. I thought it would be the other way around because that's a wider board in a 56 than this is in a 58, but this worked for me. And when it comes to waiting your turns, one of the things I like about Burton's free ride boards is they have what they call balanced free ride geometries. Basically, they're making a tapered directional board not feel that tapered. This only has 7 mil of taper, but sometimes with 7 mil of taper, you might have to back foot weight harder or front foot weight harder to get this board to hold throughout a hard carve. With this, I felt like it favored a back foot weighted turn for me a little bit better, but when I center weighted and front foot weighted a turn, this did really well. And the spring out of the turn is pretty dynamic, fun, and engaging. I thought this was a really fun board to carve on, even though it looks like it has more of a powder shape. Definitely shines on groomers. And to talk about powder, this had pretty good directional float. I thought this narrower width might not be the best board for turning in powder, but I was really impressed. I got this in knee-high powder thanks to my driftboard bindings and Union Rovers. And before that, I did the same exact run with the Alakazam. That definitely had a little bit better float, but I was surprised at how well this hung in there. This pintail really does a good job at sinking down and allowing this bigger nose to float without feeling like it's bottoming out. So if you're on those borderline powder days, you don't feel like your tail's just going too far down and hitting the hard snow beneath. And if you were to slide this all the way back to get the best directional float in powder, you can get 3.25 inches back from center of board at a 23-inch stance width. That's not great for a free ride board, but this pintail makes this feel like it's more set back than it is. I did feel like I had a decent amount of landing gear even when I was set all the way back too. So overall, I enjoyed the high fidelity. I'd really like to see what this could do in a 162. I hope it sticks around in Burton's line for longer than a year so I can try it in a 62. But as it stands as a 58, this was a really fun, dynamic, poppy, turny ride. The only place I might fault it is edge hold, but if you don't like disrupted side cuts, you'll really like this.